High sugar content causes too much water to move out of the root cells. Well, if there's a high concentration of sugar outside the cells, that means there's a lower concentration of water. And we know that water is going to move from high concentration to low concentration. Okay, let's read through these answers again. The high sugar content caused too much water to move out of the root cells. Well, if there's a higher concentration of water in the root cells than there is in the soil, then that's what would happen. The water would move from higher to lower concentration. So A is a possibility. The high sugar content caused too much water to move into the root cells. Well, I guess if there's a higher water concentration outside the cells than in the cells, it would move into the cells. But I really think with that high of a sugar concentration that the water moved the other way. So I'm going to skip that one for now and move on to the next question, or answer. The high sugar content prevented the plants from capturing energy. Plants capture energy with their chloroplasts, which are in their leaves. So I really don't think that this had anything to do with why the plants died, because this answer talks about capturing energy. So we're going to scratch this one. The high sugar content clogged the pores in the cell membrane. Well, the glucose in the sugar moves through the cell membranes, and we saw that in Ms. Craney's demonstration. So it shouldn't clog the pores. So let's scratch D too. Now we just have to determine if the root cells have a high concentration of sugar or a low concentration of sugar. I'm going to guess that because the plants that got less sugar grew more, that the roots have a low concentration of sugar and a high concentration of water. So that means the water would move from the roots to the soil in the high sugar content. So that way we'll eliminate B, and we know that A is the correct answer. Now let's look at question 7. Most organisms need oxygen for their cells to function normally. In mammals, 2 organ systems work together to move oxygen throughout the body. The respiratory system brings oxygen into the body from the environment. Which of these body systems is directly involved in the delivery of oxygen to the major organ systems? So, we know that we're dealing with oxygen and moving things around, okay? 2 organisms work together to move oxygen. So let's think about which systems, keep that in mind, which systems move oxygen and move things throughout the body, and see if we can figure this out. Okay, the nervous system involves the brain and the nerve cells. And it does talk to the other parts of the body, but it really doesn't move things. But then again, the brain does control everything that happens in the body. So maybe A could be the answer. Let's look at option B, the digestive system. The digestive system breaks food down into smaller particles that can be used by the cells. And it doesn't say anything about food in the question, so I don't think B can be the answer. The endocrine system is hormones. It doesn't say anything about hormones in the question, so we're going to scratch that too. D, the circulatory system. Well, the circulatory system is your heart, and your heart pumps your blood, and your blood carries the oxygen to your cells. So D must be the correct answer, the circulatory system. Okay, moving on to question 8. Boy, this is a lot of questions. This is a lot of work, but this is what you really need to do to make this test successful for you. Which of these organ systems is responsible for the removal of metabolic waste from the blood? I'm not really sure what metabolic is. I'm not going to worry about that. But I see the word removal and wastes. I'm going to key in on those 2 words and see if I can figure this out. The endocrine system, answer A, those are hormones. Hormones aren't waste products. The body needs those, so it's not A. The nervous system, that's your brain and nerves. again, the brain controls everything, so if there's nothing better, that might be the answer. The respiratory system. Well, the respiratory system removes carbon dioxide from the body, and that's a waste. And the excretory system. The excretory system definitely removes waste from the body, because that's your poop chute. Everybody knows that the excretory system is the poop chute. That has to be with removal of wastes. The answer is D. Which of these body systems transports glucose and other substances in the blood to the cells of the body? Transports. We saw that before. We're going to have to think about that. Well, the digestive system breaks food down into smaller particles like glucose that the cells can use. And we know that there's glucose in the question. So possibly that is an answer. The endocrine system, again, hormones. That can't be the answer. The circulatory system definitely transports things. So that's a definite possibility. The reproductive system, well, that's for making babies. And question doesn't ask about making babies. So we're going to scratch that. The digestive system breaks down the food and it moves it from your mouth through your digestive system, but it doesn't take it to the cells. That's definitely the circulatory system. C is the correct answer. Ooh, question 10. Have fun editing that. What is the process that causes water to move from areas of high concentration to areas of low concentration? Okay, this is what Miss Craney talked about. We're talking about water, and we're going to move from high concentrations to low concentrations. Okay, so that has to be something to do with homeostasis. So let's check through these answers and see. Osmosis is diffusion, and it's diffusion of water. So that's a definite possibility. Diffusion, well, we're talking about moving from high concentrations to low concentrations, but diffusion can be other things too besides just water. So let's hold off on that. Homeostasis is balance, and osmosis happens to keep water balanced. But again, osmosis definitely just deals with water and moving from high concentration to low concentration. And we know that active transport needs energy, so it's definitely not active transport. I'm going to say that A is the best answer because osmosis is diffusion of water from areas of high concentration to areas of low concentration. That is the definition. We'll choose answer A. Question 11.